The horse that won a war. The Trojan horse is a symbol of victory by deceitful means even today. The debate whether this war between Greece and Troy took place is still raging, and some historians feel the day is not far when they would unearth the legendary horse. The city of Troy seems to have been not a myth, as some had earlier suggested, because remains of the city have been found by excavators. In this video, we give an insight into the legend and also try to find answers to the questions whether the Trojan horse is a figment of imagination or was it real. Firstly, let us look at the tale behind the Trojan War. It is said that around 12th or 13th century BCE, a war was fought between Greece and Troy. After 10 years of fighting, the Greeks could not lay siege on Troy and came up with a master plan. They constructed a wooden horse and dragged it to the gates of the city of Troy. They made sure their troops left the city by sea and duped the people of Troy. In reality, a set of soldiers were left inside the horse. The people of Troy, seeing the Greek soldiers retract and go away, assumed they were victorious and pulled this wooden horse into the city of Troy as a symbol of victory. The same night, these soldiers who were inside the horse opened the gates of Troy and let in the other Greek soldiers who had sailed back and won the war. This is the legend of Trojan horse, as also mentioned in Homer's Odyssey. Now, we move on to the various hypotheses regarding the story mentioned. According to Iliad, the Trojan War started when Paris, the Trojan prince, ran away with Helen, the wife of the Spartan king Menelaus. Paris had been called to judge who was the most beautiful of the Greek goddesses, and was told by Aphrodite that was he to select her, then she would give him the love of the most beautiful woman in his life. Paris did accordingly, and Helen fell in love with him, igniting a conflict that gave her the name the face that launched 1,000 ships. This has given us a number of phrases in the English language as Achilles' heel, but perhaps the least known is the unit of measurement known as millihelen, which actually means the amount of beauty required to launch 1,000 ships. While one called it amount of beauty, another called it the amount of ugliness required to sink 1,000 ships. Another story says the Spartan king who was victorious in the battle returned home to Sparta with Helen, and some others say that they moved to Italy and are considered the ancestors of the Romans. Most of what we know is from Homer's account, and there seem to be a number of inconsistencies, but people tend to believe it, as he lived 400 years after the time of the battle, and the ruins of Troy would definitely have been visible. Though it may seem mythical today, it is said that Alexander the Great passed through the site of Troy in 1334 BC and paid homage to Achilles and Patroclus. Finally, in today's parlance, the Trojan horse is a virus on the computer.